The champ is here.
And about who has a better roster. Was it Smackdown Live? Was it Monday Night Raw? Well, I'm going to tell you guys who I feel got the better end of the Superstar Shakeup. But before I do that, I just got to say, Monday Night Raw, if you didn't watch it, it was very tough to see Roman Reigns get absolutely brutalized by Braun Strowman. I feel like Braun Strowman's actions were overboard. I feel like they were inappropriate, and I feel like there should be a petition going around to fire Braun Strowman due to his insane actions on Monday Night Raw. Psych! Nah, that was actually one of the best beatdown segments I've seen on a Monday Night Raw in a long time. As if you don't know, I'm a Roman Reigns fan, but I do love to see beatdowns, and the big dog got a beatdown on Monday Night Raw. Not only that, they made Braun Strowman look like a beast. Not only did he smash Roman Reigns' face with the crate, did you guys see him push Roman Reigns? I know the editing of what happened wasn't that great. The WWE didn't do a good job of really editing the fact that, when he pushed the stretcher over the ledge, Roman Reigns still, it wasn't enough for Braun Strowman. I'm not finished with you yet, coming back and then pretty much just beating the crap out of Roman Reigns. And I've never seen a beatdown like that. But let's all face it. If that was a match, Roman Reigns would have kicked out at 2. After everything, after getting his face smashed in, after being thrown off the ledge while being strapped into a stretcher, while the ambulance tipped. If that was a last man standing match, Roman Reigns would have found a way to stand up at 10. If that was a falls count anywhere match or no holds barred match, Roman Reigns would have kicked out at 2. You know why? Because he's the big dog. He's the big dog. You can't pin Roman Reigns that easily. You're going to actually have to drop like a nuclear bomb on Roman Reigns. Even then, he might still kick out at 2 because he's the big dog, Roman Reigns, the man who retired The Undertaker. But yeah, Braun Strowman definitely wins my Superstar of the Week after the awesome beatdown. And now I'm actually looking forward to Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar, which is not going to be coming up at Payback, but in June, I believe, is when they're scheduled to face off, and that's going to be awesome. I'm just hoping that the WWE does a good job of booking this beatdown. Hopefully, we don't see Roman Reigns on Monday giving an interview in the hospital, where he's barely having any scratches. That's the only thing I have to criticize, the fact that even after everything that happened, Roman Reigns did not even have a single scratch on his face. There should have been blood. There should have been bruises. There should have been, marks or something on Roman Reigns. And the fact that, the only thing he suffered from is a separated shoulder, some cracked ribs, is pretty ridiculous, but it's WWE. What do you expect? But Braun Strowman definitely wins my Superstar of the Week after that beatdown. What a beatdown. Okay, well, without further ado, let me just break down who exactly won the Superstar Shakeup. That was the major talk here in the WWE all week. Everybody had rumors. Everybody was trying to see who was going to go where. Everybody was, a little nervous, a little excited, a little bit of everything. Even the champ, the champ's not going to lie. I was excited. I was in front of my TV. I must say, though, I was extremely disappointed, guys, with the way that the WWE presented the Superstar Shakeup. By having each superstar just randomly, coming out to the ring and announcing that they're part of the show, I felt like it was weak. I feel like it could have been done a lot better. At least give us some more hype or build up, to make it seem more legit. I know a lot of fans enjoyed it. According to what I read, but I wasn't one of those people. I'm one of those people who feel like the WWE, when they do something like this, They should make it more sports-centric, meaning they should make it more like the draft, or how the NFL would do their draft, or something of that nature. Something to really, make it seem like it's real. It's not real, but, make it seem like it's real. Make it seem like it's more of a sport. And not just have Miz and Ambrose randomly come into the ring and, saying, oh, I'm a part of SmackDown. I felt like that was weak, in my opinion. A weak move, in my opinion. But without further ado, there was many superstars who were moved from, SmackDown to Raw and from Raw to SmackDown. So I'm going to break it down to you like this about each division. Starting with the championship divisions. For the Raw is the Universal Championship. And the top tier guys who got moved is Dean Ambrose, The Miz, and Bray Wyatt. Those are the top 3 gets for Monday Night Raw. The top 3 guys who moved from SmackDown to Raw. And that pretty much gutted SmackDown. Watching it on Monday, I'll admit, I was one of those people. If you go look at my Twitter, I was one of those people saying, wow, SmackDown Live is getting screwed. SmackDown Live is losing everybody. This shows that Vince McMahon doesn't care about SmackDown Live. Because let's face it, The Miz was, if not AJ Styles, The Miz was the MVP of SmackDown since the brand split. Without a doubt. He was on a different level. Him and Maurice were actually on a different level, which the others can't really say. He was the best heel, in my opinion, in the WWE. He was, having great matches with Ziggler, with guys like Ambrose. The Miz did it all. Talking smack, where he just really took his game to a new level. And I still feel like going to Raw, I'm still skeptical. I'm still not, excited or really pleased with the decision to move The Miz. I was thinking that The Miz was going to go after the SmackDown, the WWE World Championship. I felt like he has earned that right to be a champion. And now, since he's being moved to Raw, which is a huge hit on SmackDown, a huge void to fill. By going to Raw, I feel like I'm thinking he's gonna get lost in the shuffle. I'm thinking he's gonna get lost underneath, just below the heavyweight championship division. I don't see him winning the Universal Championship anytime soon, especially with Brock Lesnar as the champion. I don't see him beating Roman Reigns. I don't see him beating Finn Balor. Or Seth Rollins. So I think The Miz is going to get the shaft here and get the short end of the stick, so to speak. And I think he's not going to be utilized the way he should be, especially after the year he's had with SmackDown Live. So even though it was a big signing by the WWE, by Monday Night Raw, getting The Miz, I don't think they're going to be able to utilize him the way that he should be. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what he does. And it looks like it's going to be him and Dean Ambrose again. Speaking of Dean Ambrose, getting the Intercontinental Championship moved to Raw is probably a good idea. Let's face it, since The Miz lost that championship, the championship has lost sort of its luster a bit with Dean Ambrose. The feud with Baron Corbin didn't really click to the point where, you were excited to see that match. Wasn't like that. And Dean Ambrose, as an overall wrestler, I don't think he's that great in the ring. As a matter of fact, I don't think he's that great of a character. It seems like there's something not right about Dean Ambrose, something missing. His moves are weak. Probably weaker than Bayley's. And that's saying something, because Bayley has maybe the weakest moves out of anybody in the WWE. But I'm thinking Dean Ambrose is probably weaker than Bayley, which is sad to say, but it's the truth. And his wacky, insane, the crazy lunatic, whatever they're trying to do with him, sometimes he's serious, sometimes he's joking. I feel like it's never really clicked for me. Only a few times it has. During this feud with AJ Styles, I felt like that was Dean Ambrose at his best. But as a whole, I'm not sure it's going to be a good move. I'm thinking Dean Ambrose is going to have to do something interesting, something different. Maybe, turn heel, like a full-fledged heel. Maybe that will help Dean Ambrose get some type of spark back to him, I remember Stone Cold on his podcast saying that Dean Ambrose was lacking that fire. He needed to show that he deserved to be a champion, that he was a champion. And I still feel like Dean Ambrose still missing that for the most part. We saw a lot of times of SmackDown Live, especially Talking Smack, the best Dean Ambrose. But that's not what we get usually on TV when it comes to SmackDown, or I'm thinking it's not what we're going to get when it comes to Raw. You know, we're going to get the funny, stupid Dean Ambrose, supposed to be crazy, a lunatic, but it's pretty dumb to me. But it is a huge signing by Monday Night Raw. I have to admit, it's a huge signing because, you know, Seth Rollins is staying on Monday Night Raw. Roman Reigns is on Monday Night Raw, which means all you fanboys can get excited because that means the Shield is going to reunite. Whoa, yeah. Whoa, go, guys, party. Yeah, the Shield are going to reunite for like the 10th time in the last 2 years. Whoa, yeah, we've been waiting for a long time. Whoa. You know. If you can't note the sarcasm, then okay. But, so, in other words, I'm not too excited, too thrilled to see the Shield reunion. To me, they haven't even been separated long enough to even be excited for a reunion. I thought they had one, last year, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not too excited to see the Shield, but maybe that'll be a spark that Dean Ambrose needs because he needs one. Speaking of sparks, Bray Wyatt. Okay, let me get this straight. Bray Wyatt won the WWE Championship at Elimination Chamber, which I said then was a bad move. Go watch it. I said it was a bad move. I said it wasn't his time to actually win a championship. So what happens at WrestleMania? After the feud with Randy Orton just pretty much flew off the rails, it was pretty good for a bit. And then somewhere before WrestleMania, maybe it was a time when out of nowhere, Randy Orton turned and burned down his house. It just flew off the rails. The match was terrible. And now it's getting worse. The few, speaking about demons and Sister Abigail and all that crap, it's been really disappointing, to say the least. Perhaps, maybe, off the top of my head, I'm thinking this is perhaps the worst feud in the WWE today. I can't really, if you can think of another feud, let me know in the comments below, but I'm thinking this is the worst one. So, and they had a terrible match at WrestleMania. So let me get this straight though. Since Bray Wyatt is moving to Raw, Randy Orton's a SmackDown WWE World Champion. So a Raw guy is facing a SmackDown guy for a Smackdown Championship on a Raw pay-per-view event. Can you guys follow that? Is it confusing? Are you guys, your brain just as confused as mine? Because what is the WWE thinking? Seriously, who thought this was going to be a great idea? Not only that, it's going to be in the House of Horrors match, which admittedly we don't know what type of match it's going to be. It might actually turn out to be a good match, or it might turn out to be one of those silly, stupid matches like the Ambrose Asylum type of deals. And, with this feud, the way it's going, please end this. Can somebody be on my, can you guys support me and tell the WWE to put this feud out of its misery, and please end this as soon as we possibly can, because this has been terrible feud. Terrible. And I'm not looking forward to it. It's going to be confusing. What happens if Bray Wyatt wins? Does he keep the championship on Raw? Does Brock Lesnar go to SmackDown? Which, see, that's confusing. We all know Randy Orton is going to win because SmackDown needs a championship, a world champion. So it makes Bray Wyatt, it just pretty much sums up Bray Wyatt's WWE career. He talks a big game. He's good at, giving promos, even though some of the things he says is pretty wacky or pretty confusing. I have people scratching their head, but it sounds cool. So we're like, okay, I think it's cool because it sounds cool, but I have no idea what he's actually saying. But it sounds like he's saying something cool, But Bray Wyatt's career has been pretty much a disappointment. He has a lot of talent. Don't get me wrong. He's very talented, especially on the mic. As a wrestler, it kind of depends on who he's facing. He's pretty good. I'll give him that. He's pretty good in the ring. Oh, Randy Orton. Don't get me started on how boring Randy Orton is outside of the RKO out of nowhere. Outside of that, he's pretty much a boring wrestler. But Bray Wyatt going to Raw to feud with Balor could be good in a way, depending on what direction this story is going to take. If it's going to be the supernatural type of deal that I'm thinking is going to be, it's going to be crap again for Bray Wyatt. He's going to lose again to Finn Balor, of course. another rivalry lost by Bray Wyatt. Has he won any rivalries, really? I can't really think of a rivalry that Bray Wyatt actually won and actually looked strong at the end. I can't really think. There's maybe one here the last year or so, but not really. So I think he's been booked terribly. Is the move to Raw going to benefit him? I doubt it. I really doubt it. I think he's not going to be a champion anytime soon. He's going to be buried in these crappy supernatural storylines. So, at first, initially, I was going to say, but then I was going to say that Raw got the better advantage when it comes to the heavyweights moving. But, it could be true if they're booked correctly. But judging him by the history of how WWE books their wrestlers, I don't think it's going to be true. So, I'm going over to SmackDown. Who does SmackDown get for their heavyweights? They get Kevin Owens. I think it's an incredible move at SmackDown. Kevin Owens, he's going to be doing this Face of America gimmick, I believe, which is going to be awesome. Moving over to SmackDown is going to be great for Kevin Owens' career because, let's face it, on Raw, he was starting to get a little stale. He was a weak champion. Him and Chris Jericho has run their course. So this is going to be something fresh, something new for Kevin Owens. So that was a great move. We got Sami Zayn, which is everybody's wanted Sami Zayn on Smackdown Live since day one. Finally, we get him there. Hopefully, they book him a lot better than they did on Monday Night Raw. But I have confidence that Sami Zayn is going to be a major player on SmackDown Live, whether it's for the World Championship or even the United States Championship. I feel like Sami Zayn is going to finally start to live up to the hype, on the main roster. And who else did they get as a champion? And I think that's all the top heavyweights they got. So basically, it's trading Bray Wyatt, Miz, and Dean Ambrose for Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. On paper, you would think that Raw got the better deal, but you sit back and think about it and how they're going to be utilized. I believe that SmackDown is going to benefit more than Raw is going to benefit by having those three. So I'm giving the upper hand slightly to SmackDown Live. Now let's look at the women's division. I must admit, it's going to be sad, guys, not seeing my baby Alexa Bliss on SmackDown Live. I'm going to miss seeing her on SmackDown Live where she really shocked everybody. She really shocked everybody, especially me. And she was maybe the MVP of the SmackDown Live's women division. And she goes over to Raw with Mickie James, who has been sort of a letdown since debuting on SmackDown Live. Sort of a letdown, to be honest. Let's face it, she's been sort of a letdown. But now she gets to move over to Raw where guaranteed. So right now, it's Bayley, Sasha, Mickie James, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, and Emma. Honestly, if you just look at those wrestlers, Sasha Banks, I think I mentioned her as well. They have they have potential to be a great division, to be honest with you. Dana Brooke thrown in there as well. They have potential to be a great division. Honestly, Alexa Bliss and Sasha. Can you imagine the matches you can mix up there on Raw with Emma if she's booked to look pretty good as well? SmackDown. Monday Night Raw did a very good job of getting fresher matchups, getting fresher rivalries. I think Alexa Bliss and Mickie James are gonna benefit a lot from being on the Monday Night Raw, especially Alexa Bliss, who pretty much has run her course on SmackDown Live. So it was definitely something that was needed. In exchange, SmackDown gets Charlotte Flair, Lana, and Tamina. We don't know how good Lana's going to be in the ring. We don't know. We know she's going to be looking good. We do know that she's going to be looking good. So just based off of looks alone, SmackDown Live is definitely, going to benefit. But as far as in the ring, we don't know. She could be like an Eva Marie. Or she could be like a Nikki Bella, or she could be, who knows, maybe she'll be like a Trish Stratus or something like that. Who knows? But it's gonna be intriguing, to say the least, to see what Lana does in the ring. But the big get, Tamina. I'm not a fan of Tamina. I think Tamina is basically just a filler, a replacement, like just somebody who's there to so they can have somebody in a match. Maybe if they need like a tag team match. I'm not a believer in Tamina, but maybe she'll change my mind. But right now, you know, Tamina is kind of weak. Charlotte Flair is going to be the biggest name that SmackDown got. And I think it's going to be an awesome move for Charlotte to get away from Bayley, get away from Sasha, get away from Nia Jackson. Now she's going to have all fresh matchups with Becky, Natalya, even though we've seen it a few times. It's been a while. Who else? Naomi. You know, we haven't really seen her against Naomi or Carmella or even Lana. So I think Charlotte Flair is going to be huge. I think she was maybe, as many people has been mentioning, the biggest name to move from Raw to SmackDown. So with that being said, you know, which one has a better women's division? Currently, I'm going to have to say Raw because they have better women wrestlers actually in ring. The characters, you know, Alexa Bliss definitely upgrading, and Mickie James also upgrading Raw as far as promos, you know, character. Maybe they'll help raise Sasha's and Bayley's level. Because let's face it, Sasha and Bayley's not really good on the mic. Charlotte's gonna raise up the level in ring. She's not great herself. Well, she's had great matches, but she hasn't shown me that she could carry somebody like a Lana to a great match. We'll see. Maybe she'll prove me wrong, but, you know, having Charlotte on SmackDown definitely makes SmackDown seems like, you know, there was a major upgrade, a step up. But with that being said, I'm going to give the edge to Monday Night Raw because, like I said, I feel like Monday Night Raw has more depth, more known wrestlers. You know, we know what we're going to get pretty much from the Raw women's side of it. We're not sure yet what SmackDown's going to bring. We just know that Charlotte, Becky, Naomi, Natalya are going to be solid in the ring. The rest, we're not so sure, you know, so, but it's going to be interesting. I feel like both of them did a good job of, you know, mixing it up because both of them needed that shakeup. Tag teams, I'm gonna have you speed this up, but tag team here, we get, SmackDown gets the New Day and Epico and Primo, the Shining Stars. I'm going to say it. I'm going to be one of the first ones to say it, that the Shining Stars will be huge on Smackdown Live. They're gonna finally show off what they can do when they're giving good booking. So I'm thinking that's gonna be a major get for SmackDown Live. New Day, I don't know, it could go either way, you know. If we get the same stale New Day we've got the last few months, it's not gonna be good for SmackDown's tag team division. But I think this move is gonna freshen up New Day. It's gonna give them a spark to really, you know, tap into, you know, the wrestling, you know, help the other teams like American Alpha, who needs a lot of help with the characters, help, you know, all the other teams. So I feel like it was a good get. And while in exchange, Raw gets Heath Slater and Rhino, who was huge at one point on SmackDown Live, and they also get, I think that was all the tag teams they got, if I'm not mistaken. So to me, by far, SmackDown Live gets the advantage and the Superstars shakeup as to, you know, who benefited more. Definitely with New Day and the Shining Stars, they definitely got the upper hand. So I'm looking forward to both tag team divisions, don't get me wrong, but SmackDown's going to be finally, hopefully they get the time they've earned, you know, over the last few weeks. And now the rest of the guys here. So the rest, they get Rusev. SmackDown gets Rusev, which could be, if you're judging this based off of the way Rusev was over the last month, over the last like half of the year, then this is not going to be a major deal. But by moving to SmackDown, I'm thinking it's going to be Rusev, when he returns, going to be the Rusev Crush, the one that has been dominant, the one that we all want to see. I think that's the Rusev we're going to get. So with that being said, you know, I think that's going to be huge. I think he's going to be one of the most underrated superstars to move from the Raw to SmackDown. He could actually be the top guy moving from Raw to SmackDown. Rusev could be the name that we're talking about who really benefited from the move, because he needed something freshen up. Because we know Rusev is talented, he just wasn't being booked correctly. I'm hoping Lana and him stay together. It doesn't look that way, but you know, I'm not gonna cry if they're not. They also get Jinder Mahal, who looks like he's going to get a push. He's going to get a solid mid-card push. I'm thinking sooner or later after this feud with Mojo Rawley, he's going to go to Ty Dillinger, and him and Ty Dillinger are going to probably be the two that's getting into it. So, Jinder Mahal is yet to be determined because I haven't seen enough of him. He doesn't have natural charisma, but he's pretty good on he's a pretty good talker, as we saw on Talking Smack. He's a pretty decent wrestler, nothing special, but he's pretty decent. And we'll wait to see what he does. And who else did they get that's worthy mentioning? I think that's it. And about Raw, Sin Cara. Like I said, he's not worth mentioning, really, to be honest. But they did get Sin Cara. While SmackDown, Monday Night Raw gets Kalisto, who I assume is going to be in the Cruiserweight division, which is definitely needed. Because after the Austin Aries and Andrew Neville, we're going to need someone else to freshen things up in the Cruiserweight division. So that was a good get. We got Apollo Crews, who is going to be pretty much, I believe, overshadowed again. He's not going to be any significant factor on Monday Night Raw. He could be because based on talent alone, based on in-ring skill alone, he could be. But he's not. He doesn't have any personality. Honestly, I think he should be moved to NXT to really freshen up his gimmick and his character. And we got Kurt Hawkins and Elias Sampson. So Kurt Hawkins and Elias Sampson, the Drifter, I'm not a fan, but we'll see what he does. Kurt Hawkins is a jobber pretty much. He's going to do his job well, which is annoy people, then get beat up like he did on Raw. So he's going to do his job well. And one factor that, that I read online a few days ago that I didn't take into consideration is the fact that maybe, guys like Big E, Kofi, and Xavier are pretty solid on their own. So when New Day does break up, those are three solid single competitors that SmackDown gets that could be diamonds in the rough. Big E could be a top guy alone on SmackDown. Xavier Woods, a great talker. He's a great wrestler as well. He can be a top guy. Kofi Kingston can also be a top guy. So if I had to judge this, who got the better roster or who got the better shakeup from the superstars, this week, I'm going to have to say Smackdown Live, which is surprising because I would have never said that before Tuesday. Monday Night Raw, I was tweeting that, they were getting ripped off and they were dead in the water. But, AJ Styles staying is a huge factor. We all thought he was going to leave. He didn't. Getting Charlotte Flair, getting the tag team. So I felt like SmackDown did very well of getting superstars who I believe they're going to book a lot better than they were booked on Monday Night Raw. Okay, so now I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below who got the better end of the Superstar Shakeup Raw or SmackDown Live. Why or why not? Just let me know in the comments below. Also, follow me on Instagram at JobbernationTV. I post pretty much every day, so make sure you give me a follow there on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. I usually try to tweet during Raw, during SmackDown, giving my feelings, instant reactions on what's happening. On those shows. Also, make sure you give me a subscribe here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, because we're trying to do it big here in Jobber Nation. We're trying to grow Jobber Nation, so let's keep growing. Let's keep talking about wrestling. Let's keep having fun, enjoying this. And, I'm going to wrap up my podcast. I'm thinking about maybe doing another video, 2 videos a week. One, this podcast. Another to discuss other things that I'm thinking about trying to, liven up this channel a little bit, freshen up the channel, give it a lot more variety. So we'll see. But in the meantime, just follow all my social medias. Hit that like button if you enjoy this podcast. Do what you got to do, people. And always remember this, always kick out at 2. See ya.